There are a ton of scams out there that cost you big, but when it comes to your taxes, you don't want to mess around with the IRS. Coach Pete is back with us from Capital Financial to help us avoid getting scammed this tax season and any tax season. Thanks for being back with us.
Well, it's a bad enough time, isn't it? Like taxes, and then we have scams that appear. People will call your phone acting like they're from the IRS. Be careful. The IRS is really not going to call you. They'll send you a certified letter a lot of times, or a letter in the mail. They're also not going to email you. And a lot of people, they get you to give you information you shouldn't by you clicking on a link, acting like they're the IRS, and all of a sudden your identity's been stolen.
Yes.
Be very careful about that.
Very careful. So you just mentioned one. It's the calls, the emails. We've all gotten them. There's those suspicious links that you want to click. But what are the other kind of scams that viewers should be aware of during tax season?
And you may click on the link, and it may look like the IRS's site, by the way. These programmers, these scam artists are really smart. And I always say that if they would take their abilities and do legal things, they'd probably make more money.
Right,
It seems like they have more fun scamming people. So that's big. If you have somebody who's claiming to be an accountant, maybe claiming to be a CPA, and they're claiming you can qualify for a tax credit you don't qualify for, they'll put it on a tax return to get you more money back. Eventually, the IRS finds out about that, so be very careful about that. Phony income, like let's say that you or don't report income, and the IRS says, "Where's that income?" Or you think the IRS doesn't know about it. So be very careful if a CPA or somebody claiming to be one tells you to not report income, because the IRS does know where that income is.
And the other one, of course, people need to be aware of is that people can actually file tax returns in your name and get your money. Is that right?
Scary, but scary. Like you'll go to file a return, the IRS will say, "We already got one for you. We already sent you a refund." You're saying, "I don't qualify for a refund." So then it's up to you to have to repay the money that somebody is acting like you got. So that's a big one.
Yeah, that is a big one and really scary.
Big scam, because I mean, think about that. You're just going along, mind your own business. Someone's already stole your identity, filed a return in your name. Very scary when that stuff happens.
And this time of year, people really bank on those tax returns to kind of settle things up or help with things around the house. Right? Yeah, they love that money.
So let's say you did have a bunch of money supposedly come back, but somebody already got it.
Right, exactly.
Well, then it's tied up in red tape for years, and it's not something that's easy. So how can somebody prevent that? Well, protect your Social Security number, even though our Social Security number seems to be everywhere. Remember, they would send you the W-2 forms at the end of the year, and it's got your Social Security number on there.
Yes.
Some of them just have the last four now, but the last four makes it easier for someone to break the other, what, 6 before that, or whatever, however number for the Social Security number. So we have to be very careful. And so saying we got to be careful and doing it, there's some things we can't control. If someone's doing that on our back end, well, if you've noticed that, report right away to the IRS and the authorities that someone's basically stole your identity.
Yes.
I mean, it's scary what's out there. And then again, people claiming to have special tax strategies, or maybe some charities appear now and say, give to our charity and you can get a tax write-off, and it's not a real charity. There's all sorts of scams out there.
All sorts of scams. So what are the big red flags that our viewers should be on the lookout for? Because there's so many different things we should be watching out for.
Well, if you get these emails or calls, I mean, number one, that means you're on a list somewhere. So once you get on that list, once you respond to the list, they start in the black web, they call it, the dark web. There's about a lot of information. Your information is sold on there. And I've never been to the dark web, but they say that's where a lot of bad stuff. Credit card numbers and those kind of things. So just be careful. All right, so you don't want to be accused of scamming the IRS when you're really not scamming them. So make sure you only take deductions you qualify for, and make sure that the person who's giving you tax recommendations isn't telling you unbelievable things where you can supposedly get money back, and they'll charge you more, by the way, if they can help you get money back. And then they're off into the sunset when the IRS comes back and says, "Hey, you owe us money."
Yeah, they are. They're gone.
Here's another thing to be careful of. Let's say you get a 1099 in the mail with your Social Security number on it and your name, and it says that you made a lot of money with somebody. That's somebody else trying to shift their income over to you by acting like they paid you money. So check your W-2s and 1099s and make sure you really did earn that money.
Very smart. So how can we be sure that we're not breaking the law, that we're following the rules, and that we avoid getting scammed?
Well, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Put it this way, there's always going to be a tax bill. I know it sounds great where someone says they can write things off and take phantom deductions, but if you end up doing the wrong thing, you're on the hook, not the person who did it for you a lot of times.
Definitely.
So be very careful. So let's do this. Let's put a tax plan together for folks. We usually charge $1,000 for this. The next 10 people will make sure that you're doing the right thing, not only now, but always into the future, making sure that we have that retirement income plan in place.
Good to have a financial expert on your side, especially during tax season. Thank you so much, Coach Pete. Guys, if you have any questions about your investments or your taxes, text Coach Pete at CBS 17 to 21000 or call 1-888-919-9001.